Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. The brand new 2023 definitive coin sets have started to arrive, but there's still so many questions about them. Will they be going into our change? When will we start to find them? And are they going to be rare? So in today's video we're going to be sharing all the information that we know and doing a bit of speculation too. Firstly then, what are the new coins? There are 8 new designs across all our circulating denominations. These are the UK's new definitive coins, and that is slightly different from the special commemorative coins that we also get throughout the year. Think of commemorative coins as one-off, unique designs which are minted to celebrate individuals, institutions and themes. There are lots of different coins which get minted each year to celebrate something specific in that year. A definitive design is a standard design, and this gets minted every year, usually for a number of years. Although they do tend to have a theme or broadly signify heraldry and the UK as a whole, they aren't one-off special coins. Definitive coins tend to be minted in large numbers over many years, and for this reason they become some of the most common coins you will come across, with a range of different dates depending on how long they are used for. Before the recent change, the shield of the Royal Arms had been our current definitive coins for most of the range, and they have been minted from 2008 until now. This used to include the old £1 coin as well, but since 2017, when the bimetallic £1 coin was put out into circulation, the Crown of Nations design by David Pearce was the definitive design. In a similar vein, there have been 2 different definitive £2 coins since 1997, when the coin became the bimetallic coin we know today. Firstly was the Technologies design by Bruce Rushin, and then the Britannia by Anthony Dufour's. Prior to 2008, the coins all had individual unique designs, rather than an overarching design which created one big image. These designs were used since the decimal changeover, when we swapped out our pounds, shillings and pence for the system of currency we use to this day. The halfpenny, penny, 2 pence, 5 pence, 10 pence and 50 pence were all designed by Christopher Ironside, a man who in 2013 the Royal Mint would celebrate on coins with a commemorative design in his honour. The 20p coin wouldn't be introduced until 1982 and had a design by William Gardner on it. And the following year the £1 coin began to replace paper £1 notes, with a whole range of designs to be minted on it until 2016, when they would begin to be phased out and replaced the following year. So now we know what the new definitives are, and we know what a definitive coin is. So the next big question has to be, are they going to be put out into our change? This is a tricky question to answer, as for some coins we can certainly say yes, but for others it's just a maybe for now. The Royal Mint have confirmed that, subject to demand, that they will be minting these coins and putting them out into circulation, but the demand is not something that is in the control of the Royal Mint. So who decides if there will be demand for more coins? Well, that is up to His Majesty's Treasury, who will work with banks and cash centres to forecast the demand for new coins out in our change. These get minted to replace those coins which get damaged over their years in circulation and are no longer viable to be used in our change, coins that get lost, or coins that get stashed in piggy banks or even in a few coin collections. There needs to be a constant flow of change in banks and tills, and this is carefully maintained. If it is decided that there is demand for more coins, then the Royal Mints do already have a stockpile of coins ready to meet any surprise demand. They can hold around £90 million of coins in their long store in case there is a sudden demand, although at times they have held even more than that. Think of it like a bakery. The bread and other baked goods are all cooked and prepared ahead of customers queuing out the door, because when they want the product they want it immediately. They don't want to wait for them to make them. This has created an effective delay in new coins getting out into our change though. And a lot of that backlog of coins that are ready to go out into circulation were minted during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, so still feature her portrait. If there is demand for new £2 coins suddenly, then it might be the 2021 and 2022 Britannias that get sent out first, and our new definitive £2 coins will then get minted to refill any depleted stock. Lots of people are under the false assumption that the coins featuring the Queen will be withdrawn and replaced with the new coins with her son, our current king, on them. But that's simply not true. It's understandable why this misconception is so far spread though, because we have been so used to only seeing the Queen on our coins. This is because when we moved to the decimal coins back in 1971, all of our coins had to be scrapped and replaced. And until 2022, we'd only had the one monarch. But before decimalisation, when we used the pre-decimal coins, it was common to see a range of previous monarchs on your circulated coins. These new coins minted during the reign of King Charles III are going to be an addition to the already existing coins, not a replacement. So it will be a bit like in 2015 when the definitive design on the £2 coins changed from the technologies to the Britannia, and these Britannias were simply added to the stock of technologies out in circulation. Unlike what happened in 2017 when the bimetallic £1 coins replaced the old round pound coins, with the older ones being entirely removed from our change, melted down and in fact used to make some of the new ones. Now there is one alternative way that coins might get into our change earlier though. This seems to be at the request of the Master of the Royal Mint, which is a title and role held by the current Chancellor of the Exchequer. Now it seems that the Chancellor does have it within his or her authority to request certain coins to be minted, request certain coins to be put into circulation, and also to request that the new coins can skip the queue, bypass those stocks held in the long store and get put out into circulation straight away. This is usually done through post offices across the country and is exactly what happened with the Brexit, Platinum Jubilee and new Coronation 50p's in recent years. So, if the Chancellor really likes the new coins, or maybe needs a good news distraction for whatever reason, then perhaps our new definitive coins will get poured straight into our pockets, rather than being put into the backlog of coins. What we do already know though, is that some of the coins have already started production for our change in 2023. You are able to visit the Royal Mint and see their facility, and they'll usually tell you what's being minted. Previous visitors to the Mint have been told that the 20p and 50p coins have begun production already. On the 2nd of November, the Royal Mint put out a press release which seems to confirm that the £1 coin has already been minted for circulation too. So that's 3 of the 8 looking like they're going to be minted in 2023 to be put into our change. So then, when will we start seeing some of these coins? Well, the Royal Mint has already confirmed that the 50p should be out in tills by the end of November. Perhaps the Chancellor has had these pushed ahead of the queue, or maybe the Royal Mint just has little stock left in their storage of 50p's, and so know that these are going to be out quickly. As for the rest of the coins, we'll just have to wait and see. Where this is currently an unknown, it could lead to some of the coins not being produced this year. We have to consider that there isn't a whole lot left of 2023 and the Mint can only create a certain volume of coins and still keep up with the orders from abroad too. If there are enough in storage as well, it might even be a few years before we see the denominations get minted. If we look at the track record of the £2 coin, we saw these minted in 2015 and then 2016, but then none until 2021. That's 4 years where no £2 coins were minted. And as of making this video, the 2021 and 2022 dated Britannia £2 coins seem to have not even made their way into our change yet, despite the Royal Mint having officially published their mintage figures for these years, revealing that £2 coins were indeed created. So it stands to reason that some of the denominations might not get minted this year, and perhaps not even for a few years. With others, they may get produced, but it might take a few years to actually start seeing them out in our change. There is a lot of excitement within coin collectors, but also the wider public for these new coins too. So it stands to reason that unless there's an almighty flood of the new coins, they're going to be sought after collectibles, at least in the short term. Now the Mint usually takes a little over a year to produce their mintage figures, which will then reveal to us what coins are rarer than others, so we won't find that out until maybe the end of 2024. So if you find some new coins early, then you'll have to decide what the best course of action is. If they end up being very common, with plenty being minted, then you'll want to sell them before that information becomes public. If they end up being rare coins with very limited runs, then you'll want to hang on to them until that gets announced. What we can look at are previous mintage figures for our different coins in recent years, and this does point to a general decline in the number being produced year on year. Of course, there are years that buck the trend from time to time, but if the overall trajectory of coins and their use continues, it stands to reason that the new definitives could be rather rarer than their predecessors. What we do know though is that if you want to get your hands on the new coins now, then the only way to guarantee it is by buying one of this year's sets. There is a link in the description if you want to head over to our website and pick yourself up a set, or perhaps a few Christmas presents for loved ones. The coins in these sets do have a unique feature, which the ones going into circulation won't have. There is a small crown privy mark on the obverse or head side of the coin just to the right of the king. So even if you buy the set, and it turns out that all the different denominations are going to get minted by the end of the year and put out into our change, these sets are still going to be special and unique to collectors. So unfortunately, a lot of the information, it's a case of having to wait and see, but we would love to know in the comments which of the new definitive coins you're most excited to see in circulation. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. It's free to do and it means you won't miss out on any of our future uploads. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we post lots of pictures of our coins. We're on Twitter and TikTok. We have our shop and online store, and I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.